Passive income is a lie. Now, yeah, I'm being a little bit dramatic there, okay? Passive income isn't entirely a lie, but a lot of the ways that it's portrayed on social media nowadays, people make it sound like it's way easier, almost like impossibly easy, and it's actually detrimental to the industry because people think passive income is kind of just like a scam nowadays, and it sucks because passive income is a real thing. You can't actually make a ton of money without trading all of your time away for it. So in today's video, I want to talk about the most passive business ideas for 2023, okay? Most passive. Not everything is going to be 100% passive, but these can get pretty close. So the first idea here is digital products. Now, I get it. My wife and I sell digital products. We run a 7-figure business selling digital products like online courses and coaching programs, and we teach other people exactly how to do that. And you might be like, Doug, I get it. You do this. That's why it's number one. But honestly, in my opinion, digital products are the most passive thing that you can do in 2023, okay? And the reason for this is because it takes the least amount of effort to get passive. Also, the least amount of capital to get passive. You can sell an online course or a digital product without a bunch of money, without a bunch of experience, and without a bunch of time. Sounds pretty passive to me. So the way to be able to sell digital products is first you need to figure out what kind of digital product you're going to do. You need to actually sit there and research it. Am I going to do a course? Am I going to do an ebook? Am I going to do a coaching program? Am I going to do some type of a guide? What is it that I'm selling? It could even be things like wall art or patterns or other just digital files that you provide. So once you figure out what type of product you're going to do and make sure that it's for a specific person that's solving a specific problem and you've priced it out and done everything, you're going to go ahead and actually just make that digital product. And it's going to vary again, depending upon what kind of product it is. If it's something like a Canva template, you're going to go obviously make that in Canva and prepare it to sell on something like Etsy. But if it's an online course, for instance, you're going to actually like map out what the course is going to look like, and you're going to film things like this, or maybe you'll have slides, or maybe you'll have checklists, and then you put it into a program like Kajabi. The method of delivering the digital product is going to vary depending upon what kind of digital product you sell. Now, the next step with digital products is you actually just need to sell them. And there's again a variety of ways to be able to go ahead and do this. The first one is the way that my wife and I do it, which is where you create a brand, whether it's a personal brand or a business brand, and you actually sell it through posting on social media. Now, this is the way that my wife and I prefer to be able to do it, is because by posting on social media and leveraging algorithms, you can continually get your content viewed without you having to post new content all the time. Okay, all the time. So when you leverage something like YouTube, for instance, YouTube videos can get views for like years, and you can continue to get people to see your product and get sales for years. And that is the passive side of it. Now, if you're not into running a brand or having a social media presence, you can actually also pay for ads, but then you need the capital for ads. But that is also pretty passive as well, because all you have to do is make the ad and then you pay for it to be able to get seen. But again, you need that capital up front if you want to run ads. Now, a third kind of like in-between option, in between having a social media brand or running ads, is to actually just post your product somewhere where there's an algorithm and it kind of a marketplace similar to Etsy. Now with Etsy, if your product can get sales and it can get momentum and people really like it, it can get pushed up if you optimize the product well enough. And so leveraging that algorithm is what makes it passive. If you guys haven't picked up on it yet, passive income with the digital product means put your work in up front, making it, and then it sells itself over time. That is the idea behind passive, okay? But you do have to put a little bit of work up front to have a massive payout later on. And even better with digital products, let's say you do run a course or a coaching program and you post on social media and your social media account takes off and you're selling courses, you're selling coaching programs, and you're making a bunch of money. You can actually hire out other people to run aspects of your digital product business. You can hire out people to coach. You can hire out people to run your social media accounts, to help you make your videos, to edit them. And as you continue to post and to grow, you can continuously pull yourself out and make the business more passive. If you're interested in learning how to be able to do something like that, you can actually check out the link in the description below. I have this free mini course on how to be able to hit 100K in 12 months with digital products that actually outlines a lot of the stuff that's here. So go check that out in the description. So the second idea I have here for you guys is to start a YouTube channel. And yeah, it's kind of related to the first one, but what's cool is by having a YouTube channel, you can actually do a lot of the other things that are on this list to make them more passive, okay? As passive as possible. YouTube, again, is a search engine. And with this search engine, people are actually finding videos from months, even years prior, and still watching them if there's a need for that topic. So if you create your videos correct in a searchable manner, you can get views for years. The one piece of content that you create that takes an hour to create can pay off over years. That's as passive as it gets. And so the huge benefit to this is that as you continuously build content, you exponentially increase the ability for people to be able to see your content and to see hopefully a digital product or something that you're selling along with it. If you're not and you're doing sponsorships or you're doing ads, that's totally fine as well, because you'll continuously get those views. But at the end of the day, leveraging YouTube as a tool for your passive income business is the preferred way that we would run that. But again, nothing is 100% passive, because I'm kind of overlooking the fact that, yeah, you do need to make videos and you do need to put in the time and effort to make the channel. But that's why I say that passive, the word passive itself is becoming kind of gray that's here, okay? Because you still need to put in a little bit of work to get that massive passive payout at the end. My third idea for the most passive income business that you can run is blogging. Yes, blogging is a similar idea to YouTube. And yes, blogging is something that is kind of old school in a way, but we've seen a resurgence in blogging. A lot of our students are actually bloggers turned course creators, or they're bloggers that are leveraging some type of digital product, and their blogs are thriving. And to be honest, I have no idea why. I don't like reading blogs anymore. Most people like watching videos, but blogs are just making a comeback. So with blogging, you do have to put in that time and effort to be able to create the blog and write the blog posts. But if you can leverage an algorithm like Google's, which is the most powerful algorithm in the world, and you're able to get those blog posts ranked with, again, your own products or affiliate links, then that is, again, as passive as it gets. So to be able to start a blog, you do need just a couple of things. You obviously need the idea for whatever your blog is going to be about, and the more niche and the more specific that you can get with some demand still behind it is the best choice possible. But you're going to basically just need two things. You're going to need your idea and all the content that you make, and you're going to need hosting. So for hosting, we've always used things like SiteGround when we run our typical WordPress blogs, but there are a lot of other options out there nowadays for you to be able to be bloggers. Now, if you're not into the idea of creating a blog to sell your own product, you can sell other people's products or just run ads on your blog with something like Mediavine, for instance. But some of those have requirements, minimum requirements for you to be able to join their programs. So until that point, it won't be as passive as you want. But the idea is that you are investing some time. Instead of money, you're trading time to be able to grow your blog so that it can at one point be passive. Now, some of our biggest students have been running blogs for years, and the payoff is immense. Okay, so if you can sacrifice a little bit of time up front, it could be a huge passive business. The fourth most passive business idea that I have for you here is affiliate marketing. And if you're not picking up on a trend by this point, I'll just kind of come out and say it. All right, these first points that I've had together, if you can combine everything into one, you will create the ultimate passive income product. But I'm just kind of segmenting these things out that are here. So let's get back to affiliate marketing. When it comes to affiliate marketing, I'm not just talking about linking like your mug or your t-shirt or the tech. You can make decent money with the more expensive of a product that you sit there and you actually kind of link to. But not all affiliate marketing programs have to go through something like Amazon, for instance. And we still do that too, because, you know, we use a lot of tech and we use a lot of different products, and we still have those and all the links down in our YouTube descriptions and things like that. But the big money when it comes to affiliate marketing is being an affiliate for something like a course or a coaching program or a piece of software. Now, the reason for that is because those products tend to cost a lot more. So the payout is also going to be a lot higher than, let's say, like the $7 mug or something like that. Now, if you do this correctly, if you do affiliate marketing correctly, it can be very passive, okay? Because in nature, talking about products is a very searchable topic. And when things are searchable, you can leverage algorithms. And again, if you haven't picked up on it by this point, that's what we want. That's what makes things passive, is leveraging algorithms to be able to sell or to be able to push some type of product. So if you can talk about things like Kajabi reviews to be an affiliate for Kajabi, or if you are able to talk about different courses or coaching programs that you take in and they have affiliate programs and people are searching out reviews for those kinds of things, that's going to be your best bet for affiliate marketing. Now, yes, again, you have to put in some time up front because people need to find the content where you're talking about those products. So whether that's going to be on YouTube or blogging or Instagram or TikTok even, you need to put in a little time up front to create the income to make it passive eventually using algorithms. But when it's all set up and done and you have funnels for all of your affiliates and you have all of your links placed everywhere and you're just kind of on autopilot churning out content, you're not actively trying to sell all the time. Things are just passively being sold as you make the content that you want. And if you get your brand to be big enough, you can literally almost talk about anything. People will still go through your links and they'll buy the stuff through your links and you'll make that commission. Now, let's just kind of step away from all the online stuff. And you're probably sitting there, maybe you're like, Doug, I don't want to do all this online stuff. I want an idea that's not online. It's not a digital product. It's not something that's digital that's there. I want a passive income thing that I can do with my hands maybe. This one's a little bit off the wall, but you can actually just rent out the thing things that you own. Now, you'll obviously need things to be able to rent. And I know that this sounds kind of weird and sounds kind of foreign, but it is starting to pick up a little bit, okay? People are doing things obviously like Airbnb. Airbnb is a pretty passive thing that you can do. You can rent out your room, you can rent out your house, you can rent out an apartment, you can rent out tents. People like take tents on the beach in Hawaii and they'll sit there and they'll rent those out. And that is pretty passive, with the exception of having to list it on Airbnb and have it cleaned, right? But at the end of the day, not everybody has some giant space that they can sit there and rent. So what else can you do? Well, you can actually still rent out your car with something like Turo. So if you have a car and it works and it's affordable and it doesn't break down every 3 seconds like my 240 that's sitting in the driveway, then Turo or renting out your car and other means may be a pretty good way of having passive income if you don't need that car. Because at the end of the day, again, you just list it and you provide it to the people and then they drive it around, they bring it back and you make money. And you could be doing other things like creating a digital product while people are out there driving your car and you're getting paid for it. Now, let's say that you don't have a car to be able to rent out. There's actually other things that you can do. And one of them, which I thought was absolutely genius, is this company called Babyquip or Baby Equip, however you actually say that. Basically what you do is you could rent out old baby equipment or baby stuff that you don't use anymore. Okay, it could be like carriers, it could be strollers, it could be nap cots. I forget what else that they have that's on there, but people can actually, oh, car seats is one too. You can actually rent out your baby stuff. So when people travel to other places, they don't have to lug around all their baby stuff. And if you don't have kids and you don't know what it's like, I've actually had to carry 3 car seats on my back through an airport for like 3 hours trying to be able to get to our flight, and it sucks. So there are a lot of different other ideas that you can do when it comes to renting things out. I've actually also seen people rent like just their space. So you can rent out your garage or your backyard as storage space and people can pay you for that. And that's actually pretty passive to be able to do. Continuing down the not so online path, okay, we do still have things, and I gotta throw them in there, but things like real estate investing or renting out property, okay? It's pretty obvious what you have to be able to do to be able to get that. You just have to afford the property to be able to rent it out, and then you get like a property manager, or maybe you manage it yourself and you fix some things up and then you rent that kind of stuff out. There's not really, again, much to say here because this isn't a full tutorial on how to be able to get those things. And to be quite honest, if you're watching this video, you're probably not in the spot to be renting out an extra house anyways. But at the end of the day, real estate is pretty much as passive as it gets without being something like stocks. Now, let's say that you don't have enough money for real estate and you don't have the money to be able to invest in stocks. I do have one final passive, mostly passive business idea that's here for you. And it's kind of a catch-all business idea for what we've talked about previously and here, or really it can apply in almost any general sense. And the idea to make something passive is to actually just hire it out to somebody else and then you sit back and just manage whatever that person is doing. And so in my opinion, this is what it means to be passive. Okay, you start a business, you make it successful, you run it, and then you outsource it. Now, it doesn't need to be a huge business. You don't need to have 15 or 17 employees. It can just be like a smaller scale marketing business, for instance, or it can be a smaller scale video editing agency or something like that, where you are the person that is just doing the facilitating and then you are hiring out the busy work to someone else. And that, you guys, is the key to being passive. Whatever is taking up the most time, whatever is the busy work, or the other word work that I don't want to say because I'm scared that YouTube is going to flag me, whatever that work is, if you outsource it to somebody else and you focus on just the income generating activities, or you focus on the beach or whatever it is that you're doing in your free time while you're making passive income, if you focus on those things and you get the busy work out to other people, that's what makes things feel more passive, because you're not actively in the product making business or whatever like that final product is that you're trying to sell to that person. You're not actually sitting there making it. And what's cool about this is it doesn't even need to be like a brick and mortar store in person. It can be done online. Like if we go back to our first idea and say that we're running a coaching program, for instance, coaching business can actually be super lucrative if you kind of set them up in the right way. But the idea here again is that you outsource the most time consuming aspect of your coaching business. So if coaching is what takes up the most time, then you hire somebody to help you with your coaching. If it's sales that's taking it most of the time, then you hire a sales rep. If it's social media, then you hire somebody to edit or to plan out all of your social media content. But basically, you put in the work up front to be able to find clients or to be able to find people to buy whatever product it is that you have. And then you hire out people in positions that take up the most time. And eventually you have a coach. Eventually you have a sales rep. Eventually you have somebody that does customer service. And then you sit back and you manage all of that. And then eventually basically you hire a manager to manage all of them, and then you sit back and they send you a report once a week. And that, in my opinion, is the most passive that you can get. So if you guys like the ideas that were in this video, or if you don't like them, let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to be able to go back and forth with you guys there and be able to hear more about what types of business ideas or passive income ideas that you guys want to be able to hear from me. So feel free to like, subscribe, do all the usual stuff, and I will see you guys in the next one.